This is the Puerto Rican Punisher Baby. Telling you to check out Chop's videos on YouTube. He's got the best collection of classics in New England wrestling and professional wrestling in general. So go ahead, subscribe, give him a follow, give him a like, and hit the bell notification so that you get the latest videos when they drop. Y no te olvides que guste o no te guste, Chop Videos, esa es la que hay.
2008 through 2010, I'm working NWA on Fire, and I'm working all the other New England locals. Plus, I'm going up to the Maritimes in Canada
Oh yeah.
and doing shows up there. I've been a mainstay in Canada. That's one of the main reasons why I moved to where I moved. I'm halfway between a place that I was taking during the summertime. Those would be my only bookings. The promoter used to put me to work 30 out of 30 days. I do 28 shows.
Wow.
Yep. So yeah. So like NWA on Fire and NECW were basically hand in hand, and I was just doing different gimmicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I thought you ended one and started the other gimmick. I didn't.
oh
That's why
no,
now I got it.
yeah, I was working that all together. And the funny thing is I was the Boston bad boy Jason Rumble in NWA on Fire, and I was wearing the same gear. And the reason why I could get away with it is because I'm from the combat zone. I'm a fucking pimp. I'm supposed to look sparkling and dazzling. So both fit hand in hand. I was just meaner as Jason Rumble. I was flamboyant as bad boy Jason. So when I got to be the Boston bad boy Jason Rumble and Darling Damon, me getting to have a mean streak while tagging with them, that was an aggressive and an aggressive version of the Crown Jewels. Very aggressive. Then when Mario left, I basically Sonny Roselli started back up a promotion about a year later. So things, I've been a mainstay in Maine since 1999, 98 when I started in J Maine. I don't think I've really ever missed months. I don't think I've really ever had a gap of not wrestling in the state of Maine.
No shit.
Yep.
Been busy
Yeah,
up
I
there.
was a busy guy, man. I've always been a busy guy. I wasn't a once or twice a month type of dude. I was busy every weekend. Sometimes I was busy for 6 straight weeks and didn't come home. A lot of Canadian tours would end up like that. We'd start April vacation, go there for 10 days, come back the month of June, do 14 days, come back the second week of July, and not come home until the first weekend of September, and that would end their season. Because a lot of the arenas we went to were ice hockey arenas, so they're laying down their ice for the winter.
Wow. What's a UFO?
Unidentified flying object. Pat Dillon and his brother Randy Dillon are the original, are the original guys that started that promotion. I remember when Pat Dillon called me, I was living in Maine, and I'm Pat gonna see this, but Pat's gonna hate me. But when I answered the phone, I didn't remember who the hell he was. He was like, "Yeah, I'm Pat Dillon. I went to wrestling school with you at Kowalski's." And I'm like, so once he told me he was a booker and he wanted to pay me, I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." Because I'm not. Listen, I'm an indie wrestler, dude. I want my money. So yeah, But then Freight Train Dan showed me a picture, and Pat described what he looked like at the time. And I'm like, oh, Dan, now I know who this dude is. Okay. So, yeah, Pat Dillon, always been a good place to go and work, because Pat really gives you free reign to a certain extent and lets you hone your own craft. He's an indie wrestling company, while other companies are trying to be indie sports entertainment, and they're trying to really give a
That's a big
crisper,
problem, I think.
cleaner product. They supposedly think, but I mean, they still don't know how to teach the wrestlers how to work the camera right, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
A lot of kids don't know how to work TV. So yeah,
And
UFO is just an indie promotion that was
just
started
a
up.
booking for you mostly.
Yeah, it was a booking, but I like Pat. Pat's a good
Right.
guy. Pat later on became involved with the Bell Time Club. You know, I considered Pat like a like a board member. You know,
Any
'cause it
memories
was
on your other two junior heavyweight title wins on the
yeah.
second and third?
So my second one came in my own hometown, 5 streets down from where I grew up, at the Italian American Citizens Club on Oakland Street. And I went to family parties in this hall, different types of functions, like neighborhood Halloween parties that like the ward councilor would hold. To think that I was coming back to that building and gonna make legit history was incredible. Even if it was a small little hall that people celebrate a good time, I was there that night to celebrate a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a great match with who I still a friend of mine that I talk to still to this day, Rocky Reynolds. And yeah, it's a funny story about that night. Rick Fuller, and I forget who Rick worked with. I think he worked with Wacko, the guy you asked me about last night.
Yeah.
Tom O'Sullivan is his real name. I think I was wrong last night. So Tommy and him work. They go to the outside of the ring. They go towards the back of the building. Concession lady has those warmers with the 2 fucking burners, but the burners were already out. So those tins got like water in it because they're double trayed. They go near the table, but it phantom falls where the leg gives out. Okay, we got this all on camera. So it does the whole Brady Bunch thing. Anyways, the last thing to hit the ground is the hot dog wall with the steam water. You can see the lady do this. Boop, hit. You see the water go like this. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. She looks like this. Ah! And starts selling her face as if she got burnt by the water. Because she thinks that because it's professional wrestling, we got lots of money and she can sue for it. Funnier part of the story gets even funnier. So, one of the officers that comes to the venue is her husband, who I know. Guy's name's Charlie McKay. Me, him, and 4 other officers go into the locker room, and I go, listen, guys, I got this on film. Do you guys want a good laugh? They watch it, and they rewound it a half a dozen times because they were laughing at her. They go out, make a long story short, they're like, we see it on film. Do we have to bring it to you and make you fucking recollect it? And she just dropped it right from there. Meanwhile, all 4 cops, it's my hometown, all 4 cops I either know because they used to harass me or I went to school with them. And I'm like, this isn't the way that I wanted to see you after fucking 8 years of not seeing you in school. in a pair of purple trunks. My underwear in a locker room that's a kitchen.
Yeah, no shit.
Indie wrestling, man.
Jesus. You brought up Rick Fuller. Any other Rick Fuller stories or memories
Yeah.
of Rick Fuller?
Me and Rick Fuller were 2001 through maybe 2004 were a mainstay in what is a promotion called High Voltage Wrestling. And the promoter is Kenny Garrett. And Kenny Garrett is infamously known because he is Santana Garrett's dad. And I knew Santana Garrett when Santana was just a little bitty girl. I knew her and her sister. I forget her other sister's name. And yeah, I was we used to work for Kenny Garrett. So we go down one of our first bookings. We land in Florida. Orlando Airport. We land, and the hotel, before we go to the hotel, Rick looks at me, goes, Rumble, do you mind if we make a pit stop on the way? And I'm like, no, why? He's like, I really don't care if you told me we can't, because we're going to do it anyways. But he goes, and he laughs. He goes, I collect totem poles. I was like, what? He's like, Rumble, I collect totem poles. And there's a totem pole convention 3 blocks away from where we're staying. Do you mind if I go by before we go to the hotel? It'll probably be a half hour just so I can go in and purchase a couple fucking totem poles. And that I go, what? How are we bringing them back? He goes, and he laughed. He goes, oh, they get delivered to my house. So yeah, that was a funny story about Rick. Rick also, he knew I smoked weed and he got paranoid because I smoked in the room with him and I got him contact high. Yeah, Rick's an all out good dude. Rick had my back. Rick never chopped me.
Never chopped you once?
Never chopped me. That's how much respect Rick Fuller has for Jason Rumble.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Never chopped me. That's how much respect he's got for me.
How about Slyk Wagner Brown?
Slick's like a brother, man. He basically started. Okay, so this is how I know when I started, how I started pro wrestling. It was the year that Wagner and Beau were graduating, but Beau had basically stayed back, I believe it was, or Beau had to turn 16. Either way, the way that I remember this is because we all went to the first WCW Nitro show that went to TD North Garden. And whatever day that was the same day that I believe Wagner graduated from high school. And that was the same day that he signed up for Killer Kowalski School.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But...
The show was for the Cam Neely Foundation. It was the first Nitro to come to TD North Garden. So it was either it had to be 96. Because if I debuted in 97, it had to be 96.
Okay.
So, yep. We started class basically training at the same time. My first match was being his tag team partner. We should have debuted a lot quicker. Me and Wagner were a tag team up in Walter's school. And we were supposed to be on Mikey Spada shows as a tag team, and I played semi-pro football. And 2 weeks before my pro debut, I broke my collarbone.
Oh, really?
Yep, playing semi-pro football. We were losing 35-3. 4 minutes left, and I was damned if I was going to let that team score another fucking point on me. So I moved up from safety to middle linebacker because half the team had given up. And I stuffed the hole. When I stuffed the hole, the fullback's power of his thigh came up, and as I tackled it, he popped my collarbone.
Oh,
So I didn't know it was broke. The only way I knew it was broke is because I had to go to the opposite side of my helmet. So I called the plays. Kid goes, your helmet's unstrapped. I went to go like this, and I fucking jumped. I was like, ah! So I'm starting to run off the field. Coach is like, get the fuck back in
Jesus.
there. Get the fuck back in there. I'm like, I broke my collarbone. No, you didn't. You couldn't have. So I was in such shock that I just ripped off my pads when they should have been cut off me. So I go, see, I'm fucking pointing to him. I drove all the way back from somewhere on the South Shore, like up near Hingham or something, just to go to a hospital I knew. And this shows how long ago it was. Malden Hospital was still in effect because that's where I went.
Wrestler turned manager in Mr.
How about
Yeah.
Tony Ulysses? You already touched on him some, but any more to add to Tony Ulysses?
Tony Ulysses was one of the most generous guys I ever knew, and he totally made me feel like I was a star every time he watched me wrestle. He loved to watch, whether or not he was just being facetious or working me. He always enjoyed watching me wrestle. He said it was just, he knew that everything I did looked real. My matches didn't look scripted. And yeah, Tony always complimented me and always wanted to get bookings with me. I'll
How
come and
about Joe?
manage you.
Oh, go ahead.
He'd be like, I'll come and manage you. And I would be like, Tony, if I can get you booked, I will, man. Like he wanted to go on tour with me to Canada. He just wanted one last time to tour. I go, the guy doesn't got the money to give you. He goes, have him call me. I'll negotiate.
Hawaiian Hurricane. Isn't that what he was?
Yes.
I remember him smashing the pineapple. You remember that angle? He's come out with the pineapple and smash it over people's heads.
Yep. Like
How
I said,
about Joe Bruen?
you know, on a personal level, I haven't really had the honor and or privilege to sit down with Joe and really get to know him. I just know that every time I've seen him, he shakes my hand. He goes out of my way to say hello. For a guy like, I'll be honest with you. I'm very surprised. If it wasn't for the fact that my students at my school petitioned and basically got in touch with him for me to be inducted in 2014, I think that I would probably would have went in eventually, but it would have been like right about now or maybe a couple of years back. Because a lot of the things that like here's one thing, like Tony at the time when Joe Bruen first started the Wrestling Hall of Fame, I just believe, in my honest opinion, knowing how Tony felt about people in the business to a certain extent, Tony would have laughed at like him when he said, "Hey, I want to put you in the Wrestling Hall of Fame." You know what I mean? That's just how he was. He would have thought that, like, how credible is that? You know what I mean? Like, you're not, you know, even Vince McMahon's to a certain extent. That's really not a Hall of Fame. It's a lifetime recognition.
Right. Yeah, no, it
It's not a
totally
Hall of
is.
Fame.
Joe said himself, he said there can't be a New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame without Killer Kowalski and Tony Rumble.
Yeah.
You know, that was his first two that he had in mind when he made it. But I know what you're saying.
I just believe that Tony would have laughed at the idea and Joe would have had to heavily convince him on why this is happening. That's all. I'm not saying that Tony would have said no, but I think he was mad at the fact that I didn't show up to accept Tony's award, that Trooper showed up. But to be quite honest with you, and I say this with all due respect, even though I'm Tony Rumble's supposed son, that death affected Trooper Gilmore than a lot of people in that locker room. Trooper and Tony had such an incredible bond that Trooper looked up to Tony as if he was like a father figure. So me being me, I thought it was I told him, I was like, I never said no. I go, I think Trooper would be the best guy to take that and do that for Tony. At the time I was kind of busy in real life. But then I was there, I inducted Bull Montana. Who knows? I could be in my own paranoia because I didn't want to be there, and Joe doesn't even think about that. You know what I mean? But I wish now I had, had gone, because I'll be honest, when I first heard of it, I was like, what is that trying to be? And like, when you look at it, there's a bunch of merch tables going on. You know what I mean? So like, how real is this accreditation, knowing that there's, it's just basically a wrestling, how can I put it? It's like a reunion of guys. And
I think
the
it
fans
grew.
get
It started out between like at intermission at a wrestling event, and him just giving out a piece of paper. Is how it started out, and that now it's a fan fest and a Hall of Fame. So it's two separate things, really. It's supposed to be.
I'm glad Joe kept with it, because it really.
I know Joe isn't getting rich off it. Let's say that, because I've had personal conversations with him where he's not doing well. I don't want to get personal, but he's not a rich man.
Listen, neither am I. I know what it's like. I promoted wrestling too, but like this is, that's just the first perception that
right. I totally get the perception.
Being in the business, I was like, what is this really? What is this really? And then I got to see it firsthand and be there and witness.
You were saying it, and I think people are making money off it, but I don't think Joe's the guy that is.
Oh, them old school guys, the merchandise thing is a hot item right now. Merch is a huge thing. So I'm glad Joe stuck with it. I think it's a great thing that he just doesn't recognize like local guys. I happen to believe that I was inducted in the best class ever. I was inducted with Harley fucking Race, Jim Neidhart, Knuckles Nelson. I was inducted. The class I went in with, I'd have to say, just the headliners alone being Harley Race and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. With that alone, I don't think anybody's class could divvy up to the talent that was in the 214 class.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard so many names. I know he did the Horseman one year.
All right. Well, I didn't know that.
I don't know. That's just one that just popped in my head. I remember one year he did the Horseman. I was like, oh, I might want to go to that. I think he had all of them there but Flair, I think, or something like that, with Ole and everything. And I was like, wow.
So my students are the ones that lobbied for me to get into the Hall of Fame. I thank
Oh,
my students. I thank Joe Bruen.
yeah. How about Anthony Rufo?
Anthony's a good guy, man. Former Kowalski trained student. Anthony bailed me out the first show that I had at the hot dog safari. He put a ring together at like 2:30 in the morning, was able to get a truck, and he was at the hot dog safari. And yeah, bailed me out of a huge hole with the check that I had already basically spent because it was a paid show. So I'd already invested it, had the paydays, and I had transportation and things of that nature already paid for, prefab. So it would have been hard to put that check together. And the hot dog safari was always one of the biggest shows of the year. Some years, there was one year we were there, over 250,000 people crossed through that gate in like a 3-hour span, and it happened to be at the wrestling point.
Wow. What about Travis Funk? Nothing on Travis Funk?
I like Travis. Travis always been a good guy to me.
Okay.
I got nothing bad to say about him. Him and
I'm
Gary
just throwing out
Gold.
random names here that you've been on shows with.
Yep. Him and Gary Gold are like the two veterans.
He's next in line, Gary Gold. So
okay. Gary Gold, always a nice guy, had a great, always respectable, Yeah, I can't say anything bad about Travis or Gary Gold. Both of them, treated me well when I first broke in the business. Showed me the ropes, respectable. They look like an old school grizzled veteran tag team. I would call them the Dollar Brand Terry Funk and the Dollar Brand Ric Flair, or even what's his name there, the Red Rooster. No,
all right,
Terry Taylor, man. Terry Taylor's an underrated worker.
Oh yeah, he is. He was really good before they killed him with that gimmick, man. He was a great worker. I loved his him and Chris Adams went through 3 federations back then. You didn't do that with the same angle. They went through UWF, WCW, and World Class with the same angle. Chris Adams with the umpire mask and stuff. Do you remember that stuff?
Yeah.
In 87 and 88 for like a year and a half, they did the same angle through 3 territories. That was like unheard of back then. I remember showing up World Class and going, they were doing that in UWF. They're doing the same angle. Like you know what I mean? You didn't hear of that back then.
Yes. The story of the UWF owner is another good one.
What's that?
The story of the UWF owner.
Who, Herb Abrams?
Yeah, that's a great story on Dark Side of the Ring.
I was talking about Bill Watts, but yeah, you're talking about Herb Abrams, UWF.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, covered in cocaine with a baseball bat and strippers. How about the Iceberg Sonny D?
Sonny was always a good dude. I believe he was I can't remember if it was him or another older veteran that like got into it at a very late stage in their life, but ended up making it look so easy at that point. But yeah, Sonny D, I really didn't know Sonny all that well.
Okay.
But he was always cool to me on the show. Everybody always treated me, myself, Beau Douglas, and Wagner, because we would show up as a trio, especially those South Shore guys, as you'll call it, always treated us well.
Beau Douglas was next, so you just mentioned him.
Yep. I could talk for an hour about Beau Douglas.
Give me a Beau Douglas story.
Okay. So I guess I have a knack for looking youthful, but I don't look youthful right now because the gray beard and the whole 9 yards. But anyways, if I shaved it up, I could probably take 10 years off my life. So both thought I was only maybe a couple of years older than him. So that's how he started palling up with me at Walters. So one day he comes in and he's like, dude, what do you think about being a tag team? I'm thinking, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm selfish. I really didn't want to be a tag team. I wanted to be a singles wrestler, but I didn't want to let him know that. So I'm like, maybe, dude, I'll think about it. So he goes, dude, I'll draw a plan up at my house. I'll show you. Comes into wrestling school on Thursday. He pulls out these two, like, poofy snow vests. And on the back, it's white paper with marker with whatever the team's name is going to be. And he cuts everything out and grabs clear packing tape and tapes that shit to these fucking vests. Oh my God. He's like, how do you like these? I'm like, buddy, I ain't fucking wearing those. Are you out of your mind? I go, that looks horrible. I go, it looks like you took 5th grade art class. He's like, yeah, but once we get a little money, we can afford to, get the letters sewn on these things. I go, dude, the vests look like they haven't been washed since they were bought 10 years ago. So I was like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a tag team partner. We can be friends. How about we'll fight each other? All right, all right, all right. So yeah. Bo has been one of my was in my wedding. Not enough good words that I can say about Bo.
What about Luis Ortiz?
Louis tit for tat. Louis taught me how to fight back in the ring. Up until like working with him, I was a very generous person, and I would give a person way too much of a match. Louis taught me how to be aggressive. Louis is generous at the same time. Great friend, great foe, all around great person.
All right, the big one, Tony Rumble.
Wow. Like they say, without one's passing, there's a new beginning. It just sucks that a guy like him, who's so revered and so missed, had to pass on well before his time. I truly believe if he were alive today, the independent scene in New England would be shaped so much differently.
That's what I say.
So
and I didn't know him.
Would be shaped so much differently. He was on to a big thing, and right before he passed away, he had something huge in the works. And what it was, we don't know, but we figured he got the sponsor that he was looking for, and major TV was on its way for the New England area once again. And it was like a year or two contract or something like that. So
now, if you were to explain Tony to somebody else, like if a young wrestling fan or your son or somebody, how would you explain Tony's wrestling mind or Tony's wrestling outlook to somebody?
Opportunity. Gave everybody an opportunity. You had a clean slate with Tony Rumble. He gave people in this business that didn't even deserve to be in a ring, in some people's estimation. Let me not say that in a bad way, but in some people's estimation, don't deserve to be in a ring. Tony gave people like that an opportunity.
My understanding outside the ring too, even with booking and with ideas and with anything else.
Tony gave, like, that's just the one thing that'll always stand out. That's the one thing, if people say one characteristic that you will hear on a basis that is the strongest consensus, is he gave people opportunity. Point blank. He's like America, the land of opportunity. So
is CWA starting back up or started back up?
Century Wrestling Alliance?
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, okay. It said something on Wikipedia about CWA supposed to start back up or something.
No.
What is VCW and the Bell Time Club? Can you talk about that for a minute? I know you touched on it the other night, but in this interview, can you just touch on it a little bit?
Sure.
And we could probably wrap it up. I know it's getting late.
Yeah, cool. So in ending, VCW, it was just a thing that I always started doing. It was an off-brand that even while I was promoting NWA New England, I had drawn up VW for just Victory Wrestling. Walter loved the name Victory, and he wanted to have a promotion, Victory Wrestling. So the Victory Championship Wrestling is basically, in a way, shape, and form, a dedication to Walter Killer Kowalski and Tony Rumble. I felt when the NWA New England ended, I felt that was the era that Tony Rumble, that was all his creation. NWA New England, CWA. I had no, like, I think I needed to pave my own way and do my own thing. To a certain extent, is one of the reasons why the people, some of my friends always argued the point that I never made a name change, but I did make a name change, because I went from being Boston Bad Boy to being the Alpha Dog, and people wondered why I did that. And I'm only skipping ahead to, say this is because I was once a boy, but now I'm the man. And if you're the man, you're the alpha. And I was the alpha dog, and that's the way I would explain it. If I was to cut a YouTube video and how I morphed from being the Boston Bad Boy, which I'll always be, I'm the alpha omega. I am the lead dog. You know what I mean? Where I came up with the alpha dog. So I guess talking wise, it's very easy to explain that. So the Bell Time Club, VCW, the name itself, Victory, was dedicated towards Tony and towards Walter. And I just wanted to get away from sort of the shadow of being of the Tony Rumble thing. And then people saying, now he goes back to CWA, blah, blah. I just didn't want to hear any of that garbage. I was looking to build something of my own to a certain extent. The wrestling school thing with designing the Bell Time Club, let's just face it, the art of kayfabe is blown.
You can plug that too if you want while you're here, if you got a website or anything.
I believe just it's Facebook or Google Bell Time Club Training, professional wrestling training. You'll find it in Wakefield, Mass. On I believe it's Broadway, Unit B. 47 Broadway, Unit B. It's right near the train tracks. So, my original concept of the Bell Time Club, I had already ran two wrestling schools in two different areas, or three, actually. So, my wrestling school at one time, when I first started just Jason Rumble's training center, I wasn't trying to advertise. I had stumbled upon a garage unit that the guy only wanted $500 a month, and I got up enough money just by scrounges to keep the roof over our head. The guy paid for everything, the heat, the electricity. That's where I twisted Christopher Nowinski into a pretzel for my money as I trained him to learn a little bit of the ins and outs of pro wrestling to get him ready for Tough Enough. We were having a training class, and at the end of training class, we used to do an elimination tag. Veterans versus the newbies. Chris Nowinski is obviously a newbie. So to make it not look like I was staged to tell these guys to leave the ring once he got in there, one time him and I got in there, everything looked cool. The second time it was told is once him and I get in there together, you guys are to leave the ringside area and leave the rest up to me. And I got him in a lion tamer that he was not able to get out of. He underestimated my strength. I don't think he knew I was going to shoot on him. I didn't teach him everything. But I took a kid at the time that was 275 pounds, who was an all Ivy League nose tackle for the University of Harvard, Harvard University. And I got witnesses that heard him squeal like a baby. He thought he was going to stiff me for money. He came to me through Kane Waller. Kane is the valedictorian son of one Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Kane was a valedictorian in his class at Harvard University and became a really good friend of mine. And he wasn't a pro wrestler. We were football players. And I got to know him through football. And I hate when I lose track of where I was at. But so,
you're talking about Nowinski.
Okay, I was talking. That's how I'd met Nowinski, because they were teammates. So he brings me to Nowinski and goes, "Hey, listen, my buddy over here is trying over Tough Enough, but his agent was told to have him learn a little bit of the wrestling so he could be smart for the game. How much would you charge him?" I go, $500. I go, but I'm teaching him a bar minimum, how to hit the ropes, how to take a fall, how to lock up. That's about it. Because you got to look, you can't look like he really, really knows something, because they wanted to mold you from freshness. So he thought he was going to stiff me on his pay, so I set it up to the fact that when this part of the match came, everybody would jump down and I would get my money. And it was a good thing that he owed me $500, because that's all ATM machines allow you to get out at once. Thought he was going to write me a check. I go, "Oh, buddy, you're not writing me a check. We're going to the bank machine right now, and you're taking that out." "All right." And he thought I wasn't going to go with him. I was like, "Buddy, I'm going with you, and I'm going in to see what the machine says. You're going to show me your balance, just so I know you can't not lying to me. And then you're paying me the money."
So the Bell Time Club.
So the Bell Time Club was designed. It was.
Well, was that the end of the Nowinski story?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I basically got my money from him, and I had a couple other schools. I was in the Powerhouse Fitness over in Woburn for a little while, but I was too distracting to the weightlifting clientele that they were watching us wrestle and go through our things. So we were too distracted. So they asked us to move out 3 months in. So I locked up for a month or two, and then I made my way to Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I was 2 doors down from where the Showcase Pro Wrestling houses theirs. I was the first one to be in Woonsocket.
Wow.
Chris Island used to come and work for me. The place was called the New England WrestlePlex, and was the last solid home of NWA. Well, no, because we ran in Sanford, Maine for about a year, but it was second to last home of NWA New England.
Yeah, I remember the WrestlePlex. I've never been there, but I remember hearing about it and stuff. The
So we
WrestlePlex.
had the WrestlePlex. Then I moved a couple more times, and then a guy named Ken Kelly and Sam Makua, Sam Amato, who's another indie guy. They're like, we want to start a wrestling school, and we want you to be the head trainer. I was like, all right, what do you guys got for a concept? Because wrestling schools just don't work, man. You gotta depend on people constantly coming through the door. I go getting lump sum payments. I go because bills are up there. You got to pay $1,500 a month. You know, once everything's said and done for, especially when the winter's here, if you got to pay for oil heat or something like that. So I'm like, how about this? They had all these ideas. I'm like, how about this? Let's call it the Bell Time Club. And they're like, the Bell Time Club? Why? I go, the facility we're getting is 3 rooms. I go, nowadays kayfabe's blown. I go, why don't we do it to a fact where we'll let the general, and I'm sorry, but the term is, and you use it, but we let the mocks join the club. And they look at me, they're like, huh? Like, yeah, you let the fans, you let the mocks join. I'm like, you sure you want to do that? I was like, listen, kayfabe's blown. I go, you think any fan or mock, if they've seen that our school offers a fan membership? And they're like, so what would the fan membership be? I go, so say we pay, the wrestlers pay $75 a month. Membership is half price. And what the fan membership is privy to is they're privy to attend the pay-per-view, party that's in the place. And they get to meet, they're there with all the wrestlers. I go, and then I go once a month, they're allowed to attend a training class to see how the wrestlers train. And I go, 3, you let them have a free seat at the in-house TV tapings that we do for YouTube and for the couple cable access stations we're doing the programming for. And they're like, that sounds fucking awesome. I go, you're telling me if you were a fan, you wouldn't pay $35? Just come up here. I go, the pay-per-view alone. I go, it's just like going to Good Times. You tell them there's a little food spread out. With the food spread out, you get $5 to $10, and $5 gets you 1 plate, $10 gets you 3 plates going through the line. And they're like, wow. So, yep, that's the Bell Time Club was designed for that. Not only was it designed for that, we were going to offer vests and jackets that looked the same material. They were like jogging suit vests, okay? And a jogging suit jacket, like an Adidas one. And we're going to offer pants and shorts or whatnot. And we're going to offer that, everybody, it's like a club. You earn your patches. You go for different things. And that's what essentially the Bell Time Club was designed to be. Hints on why it's the Bell Time Club. And I think now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if Beau still calls it the Bell Time Club or that he calls it Bell Time Training. I'm not sure if the name club is in there no more. It could be. I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm pretty sure that it also might be Bell Time Training, or it could be Bell Time Club Training. I'm not sure, but
okay.
Either way, Beau Douglas has now taken over the business, doing a great job and keeping the tradition alive of spreading the word of Walter Killer Kowalski's great style of training and teaching professional wrestling and having the utmost respect for this art and sport. Couldn't be much happier giving Beau over the reins and letting him break in today's superstars or potential superstars.
Cool. Well, I think we can wrap it up. Unless you think we missed anything, you want to go back and cover anything else?
No, man, we're good, I think.
Cool.
We are good. I'm gonna hit the hay. I got 6:45 comes early.
Well, that's what I figured. That's why I'm like, I was trying to wrap this up quick, and I'm like, okay, we're
It's all
trying
right.
to wrap it up, but it just kept going and going and going the last like
can't
45 minutes, an hour.
I got it. I can't just put over the Bell Time Club. I have to put over every school and every training
Right.
center that I did.
Right. The last rundown with them names, I was like, well, I'll just name a bunch of names and get a quick thing on them, and that lasted like an hour and a half. That was supposed to be like 15 minutes. All right, man. Thank you, though. I appreciate all this.
No problem, brother.
And we can do something again if you want. I plan on doing a lot of stuff in the future.
Let me know anytime. I'm down.
Even like possibly like maybe like watch alongs, like watch matches and dissect them together and just talk about them. Or like I got a lot of stupid ideas like that, and just doing stuff in the future when I get settled in and doing more.
I would love it.
Just with different people, like each week have different guests doing different stupid things, watching matches or dissecting this or talking about a certain topic or whatever. I just want to do all kinds of things.
All right.
That's why I'm trying to make connections with people and getting to know different people. And once I know people, like now we've done this, I could just hit on you like, hey man, want to do this next Friday? You know what I mean? Now that we've done this, the ice has been broken. That's how I look at it.
I'll send you an invitation to my network too with my with my fans, and you can start posting some of your stuff on there and get yourself some more following too.
That'd be great, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get subscribers because I gotta hit that 1,000 subscribers and I can start going live is what I'm trying to do. I could do a lot of this shit live, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could go live like on something like this. We could go live on like, hey, Wednesday night I'm having so-and-so on and have a little live chat going on the side, asking questions or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I do with StreamYard right now.
Yeah, but I don't think you can do that till you have 1,000 people, right?
No, StreamYard, once you just design your own Facebook.
Oh, StreamYard.
You design Facebook, could design this, like any streaming format, you just put your name into it and there's an HTML, you put that in and you can have up to 10 people in your window. It gives you up to 50 hours of recorded time.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it gives you, go to StreamYard.com. That's what I utilize.
I'll have to check it out.
I pay for the $25 a month membership, and say you got your own YouTube channel, you put your YouTube channel in there, right? As soon as your program's wrapped up and done, it automatically goes right to your YouTube. I'm creating a podcast network too on Spotify and Google.
That's kind of what I wanted to lean towards, like a podcast.
So I'm not very computer literate. So my wife hopefully is helping me within the next couple of days to figure it out, because I want to start to turn the stuff that I'm doing myself over to a bigger format. I learned that live is great, but what happens with live, to be honest with you, sometimes people don't tune in for your guest.
Right. I want it live and recorded.
They tune in because they happen to be doing nothing that night. And then what happens is some of the questions they give you, they take you off the topic you're trying to do. But I do all my stuff live, like Saturday night through my network, which has 127. I stream that live through the 127, see it. Then I'm on YouTube live through my followers. I don't have many yet. I just created my YouTube about a month ago.
Yeah.
And I have a Twitch handle. And the Twitch handle that I've been using for about 3 months, I forgot to go back in, because you have to wait 30 days before you can change your Twitch handle name to what your show is.
How hard is Twitch to use? Do you just go on there? It's pretty simple. Anybody can just go on and use Twitch and go on?
Yeah. And then you lined up. So I go live on 3 different formats. I pay $25 a month. If I wanted to get the other format they have, you can go live on 10 different formats.
But that's all through StreamYard? You go on live on all them through StreamYard?
Basically what StreamYard is almost like this. It's a studio. and you're able to keep your, like what I did is I bought an external hard drive, and once my cloud in there started to get too full, I
Yeah.
started downloading the videos that I wanted to keep on my external hard drive. But the thing is, you really don't got to save everything.
Yeah.
Once you record everything, it's going to all your other channels. So like on YouTube, that's going to stay there forever.
Well, I got hard drives. I put it all on hard drives
Yeah.
anyway.
But I'm
Because
just
I
saying,
edit it all after.
yeah.
Like I make videos out of it and edit it, and I put clips over it and stuff, you know.
Another thing you can do with StreamYard, they give you the ability to take your videos, and you, like, say it was me and you could make another window down in the corner, and it would be the video you made. You'd be like, Jason, see what we're looking at right now?
Yeah.
And even the live crowd would see what you're putting on.
Would I get? I wonder if I get the
Let's
views
listen to
though on
this
YouTube.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy. People would watch your stuff live.
But I mean, would I get the views, you know, accounted for the views on YouTube? Like count, you know,
Oh yeah.
they count towards your channel.
Oh yeah. If say this was live and right away you posted this to YouTube, right? You're getting your followers.
No, I'm
Say
saying when you go through StreamYard.
Oh yeah. StreamYard's just a studio, man.
Oh, okay. I'll
StreamYard
have to check it out.
StreamYard is your studio, and it's like you being in your studio, hitting a button and releasing what you're filming in your
To where
studio
you're going.
live to where you're going. Exactly.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
why, like, say like if Facebook banned you, Facebook can lock you out of their community.
Yeah.
Okay. YouTube basically, the only thing they're probably going to restrict is say you play copywritten music during a live broadcast. They could restrict you right
I use
there.
all local musicians, all friend of mine music.
Yeah.
I even got people that are making just music just for my channel. All the stuff you hear on all my videos and stuff, that's all my friends.
Yeah. So yeah,
I got some friends that are really talented that play really good music. So I'm like, I'll just use all this stuff.
I don't blame you.
And I'm trying to promote them. You know what I mean? I'm promoting their channels and their websites and their stuff. I'm trying to promote everybody and help everybody out. That's what I've been trying to do.
There you go.
That's what I'm doing all this for, you know?
So yeah, StreamYard is what I use. I suggest it's like it's meant for podcasting and live and like people who are building a video network.
Yeah, I want to look into the podcast thing. Like I said, I'm not computer good, so I don't know how I do it, but I'd like to do it. I wish I could get somebody like that. Most people that do them, there's somebody that does the podcast inside, and then the person that does the talking. You know what I mean? And does the show.
You just like from these things, bang, you got a video library, you hit upload and bang, it goes right in the spot.
And I definitely want to record everything I do so I have a copy of it. So, so people can watch it later too. Because like you said, everybody don't watch it live.
Yep. That's the good thing about StreamYard. It goes right in. You know what I mean? And it stays there. Once you go live and you're done, it stays in your library. And say 15 people tuned in live, you automatically have 15. You have 15 views towards that to start off with.
Right. It's so like this, but people are watching live also while you're doing it.
Yep, and this would stay right on YouTube. It would never disappear because you hit a destination. It gives you, as soon as you want to begin your thing, one of the first things you punch is destinations. Because you have your destination points in there. Say you create 2 different Facebooks and you pay for the $50 a month gold membership that lets you go to stream to 15 different avenues live. And you could create all that.
You just have to set it in stone. I don't think I've had an interview yet that's been on time, like tonight with us. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Just everybody reschedules, and I've had it with like every interview I've done, which I don't care when I'm just at home. I'm just editing a program or whatever anyway. So it's like, okay, whatever.
I've had, when I do my interviews and sometimes people are late, I just update them on my Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'd hate to like promote it like 8 o'clock, come in with the question 8 o'clock, and then people be like, oh, okay. And
oh
no, it's gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
But
I hear
whatever, it
ya.
is what it is.
But all right, bro, I'm gonna head to bed.
All right, man. Hey, thanks again. Hopefully we'll talk again soon.
We shall. Hey, be on the lookout. I'm going to show you send you an invite tomorrow from the Gorilla Position Network. It's a private
Okay.
wrestling community. Accept the invite, and then that way you can start putting your videos on my network and let some of my community check it out.
Cool. Yeah. I'm looking to spread out to something because I think that like where I am, I pretty much have who's watching is watching. I haven't got no new people in a while.
You'll my people will dig your stuff without a doubt.
Cool.
All right. Thanks,
all right,
brother.
Thank you, brother.
No problem. Have a good night.
Have a good one. Sorry for keeping you up so late.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm a night owl.
Later on, man.
All right.
Hello, wrestling fans. This is Brickhouse Baker, 2008 New England Hall of Famer. I need you people to do me a favor. I need you to go to Chops Video and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Again, that's Chops Videos. Go check this out because this guy's got some really good stuff from back in the day. Peace out.
I am the Underground King, SWB, New England Hall of Famer, Tesla Strength founder and head coach. Looking for classic wrestling videos featuring New England Hall of Famers and legends? Check out Chops Videos on YouTube.
This is the Hardcore Nightmare, the original Beast of New England. I'm here to tell you, follow my boy on Chop Videos. Hit the like button. You can find me on @BullDread on Instagram or Michelangelo Kalo, a.k.a. the original Beast of New England on Facebook or @BullDread on Twitter. Woo!
give no respect. I don't say where there's no respect. I can't seem to find no respect. Free as sin, never win. Cause you're through within. Free of pain, though there's nothing left to gain. I can't get no respect. I won't give no respect. I don't see where there's no respect. I can't seem to find no respect. So learn the rules to others as they do for you. Respect is a game people play, and in the end, we all must pay.
Hello, wrestling fans. This is Brickhouse Baker, 2008 New England Hall of Famer. I need you people to do me a favor. I need you to go to Chops Video and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Again, that's Chops Videos. Go check this out because this guy's got some really good stuff from back in the day. Peace out.
Gorgeous, and I am a Primal Conflict Wrestling super fan.
I mean, how could you not want to see Jamie Payne and Nemesis? Oh my God. you ever taken a chair shot before? Now, I had never taken a chair shot before, but I'm not going to say that I never took a chair shot before.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Primal Conflict Television. My name is Studley Steve Stein.
I don't think there has been an indie promotion since then that had that loyal fan base that Primal had.
Following conflict. You don't wanna be down like I need you around. You sticking me up and I don't wanna be stuck. Without a moment of spare, it's like I'm already there when you need me. You're right here, I'm ready to go. Kinda like a rematch, you think it might be the passion. Got me ready to fight, I got it right on my gut. Just another distraction, try to make a reaction. Got me down on my sight, and so I'm keeping them shut. You be all on my way when I got something to say. And you ain't got the same knock marks in your veins. And I will do it again, but I won't go it alone. Cause it be living like a hurricane, you leaving your home. I be giving it up, and I ain't making the time. When you be having these illusions in your mind. We be cutting you off, but you ain't helping yourself. And I'm just thinking about the people you got living in hell. It's the same damn color I bleed. They nothing more to you than the rest to me. It's the same damn color I bleed. They nothing more to you than the rest of me. You're gonna get it, but I won't let it be. A faded memory, Jack Daw's the enemy. A roll call, ready for the remedy. A burst of energy, secretly sending me on an excursion. My vision blurs when I'm double-fisted, twisted, demented. Jammed them off some skunk, scented, invented a new type of pattern. Then I add in a dose. I keep my eyes open like ghosts for most. It's an alternative escape. No strings attached, avoid the red tape and the blue lights. I'm up with the kites coming down. The sound of a lighter strikes, I see it glowing. In my direction, pause for the cause like now. Resurrection took place, and I fell with my people like a living in hell. It's the same damn color I bleed. Ain't nothing more to you than the rest of me. It's the same damn color I bleed. Ain't nothing more to you than the rest of me.
I hit something else.
It's the same damn color I bleed. Ain't nothing more to you than the rest of me.
You know, on the one hand, they were so cool to a fan that, you know, they didn't have to be, and they were. But at the same time, it was just that, you know, we don't give a shit attitude. We just don't, you know, we do what we want when we want. And that, you know, to me, that was just the coolest thing